So the disciple, dipping in the nectar like words of the master, of the guru, of the mentor, of his true teacher, the more and more he dips in Vachanamrut, nectar like teachings of his master, his logical and his convincing replies, answers to his queries, solutions to his confusions and doubts. He can see the right conviction emerging in him. He can see the doubts getting eliminated and right conviction emerging and evolving. So, two things he's now very clear and convinced regarding the soul. Two is existence and eternity, everlastingness of the soul. Two E's will come in the quiz. So, regarding the existence and the everlastingness, or the say the eternity of the soul, he is clear. But now, what has happened? His thinking process has become deeper and deeper. So, no doubts regarding existence, no doubts regarding the everlastingness of the soul. But he wants to know more and more about the nature of the soul, to understand the world around you, the function, the duties, the rights, the power of the soul. So he needs to know more about the nature of the soul. Maybe in this whole yagna we'll talk more on karma, but the subject is not karma. The subject is soul, the nature of the soul. Is the soul the doer of karmas or not? So we'll talk a lot about karmas, but that is not his question. His question is pertaining to. So pertinently, it is regarding the nature of the soul. He wants to know it more. He wants to know more and more about the nature of the soul. Whether the soul can influence other souls, whether the soul can make differences in the matter or the combinations of matter. એક દ્રવ્ય બીજા દ્રવ્યનું કંઈ કરી શકે કે નહીં. He wants to know more and more regarding the nature of the soul. So all your questions were regarding third pad actually, which you put it into existence of the soul. Because existence and nature go together, right? To believe in the existence of the soul, you should actually know the nature of the soul. And after learning the nature, you can decide whether the soul exists or not. So it is very obvious the thinking, the chain of thoughts is becoming deeper and deeper in the disciple's mind. He wants to move ahead, forward on the spiritual path. So he knows he needs to have more and more conviction regarding the soul. You got it? Why? So more and more he wants to gain the right conviction regarding the truth, and so the third fundamental truth of the soul. Only with existence you will not be convinced. You will not know whether you are responsible for this act or this act was decided by someone and you had to enact. There is some God who wills, inshallah, or who desires, hari ichha, and you have to just do. Then you are not responsible. It's the prompter who is responsible. It's that agency who intervened is responsible. It's that entity who has planned how you have to live your life will be responsible. Then I'm not responsible. So now see, already I've put those thoughts in you. You might be using, and it's so, you are so comfortable in using his wish, his will, whatever, boy or a girl, his wish. So he's Navra, what to wish? And if he is the creator of the universe and creator of the soul, as some philosophies believe, then either he should ask you people, પહેલા કે તમને છોકરો જોઈએ કે છોકરી, અને જો ડિફરન્સ ઓફ ઓપિનિયન હોય તો ટ્વિન્સ આપે. So why are we then using the word he wills, his wish? So all these questions, doubts rather, are crossing his mind. So now he needs a clarity. So he wants who is the doer of everything, doer of the universe, meaning the creator, or doer of the actions. Is it my responsibility, or was it pre-decided by God that I should be angry at 10:30? If he has decided, I should, right? Why should I refrain from being angry? Because it was decided by him. So the Shishya wants a clarity. So basically, the Shishya feels, the disciple feels, that if the inherent nature of the soul is pure, Shuddhatma, as you said, it's pure, untouched, unbound, asang, abandh, free, mukta, moksha swarup, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. If all this is the inherent nature of the soul, then why are the worldly souls wandering from birth to birth and undergoing misery and distress? સુખી બી રહેતા હોય તો ઠીક છે, ઉપર સુખી રહે કે નીચે સુખી રહે. But they undergo stress and tension and so many anxiety, depression, confusion. Why? If the inherent nature of the soul is pure, free, untouched, unbound, infinite knowledge, bliss, anand gnan, anand sukh, if all this is the nature of the soul, and in your words, pure, peaceful, powerful soul, આટલું કરીને મેં capsule આપી હતી તમને, pure, peaceful and powerful, ત્રણ યાદ રાખો. So if I am the soul, if my nature is pure, peaceful and powerful, then why am I undergoing misery, distress, unhappiness, swinging from joy and sorrow? What is the cause? What is the cause? Because he observes so much diversity in embodiment and circumstances. Embodiment meaning he sees some souls in the garb of Manushya, human, some in the garb of Machar, lizards, snakes. He's ready to believe that there is a soul there, which is pure, peaceful and powerful. And still he doesn't want to look at that soul. And there is one soul here. So he's not understanding, if all the souls are same with this inherent nature, then why so much diversity in embodiment and circumstances? એકની પાસે મસ્ત ગાડી હોય, ખુલ્લી હોય, એકની પાસે નાની નેનો હોય. So why so much diversity? There has to be some reason, some cause. See, I'm introducing the subject of karma here. So what is the reason for these different situations of joy and sorrow, these diversities, differences? Why this person has to, why this soul has to have a body of a male? Why this soul has to have a body of a female? Why? So all these why is crossing his mind. And he observes, he pauses, tries to contemplate what must be the reason for this why of diversities and differences in embodiment, situations, etc., circumstances, in the types of circumstances, in the intensity of circumstances, both types, intensity. Why? why this person has to be in um, um, Arpanta, and why this person has to be in Courtyard Villa. Why? Everywhere, why? So he wants to know what is the cause of this diversity and differences. Vichitrata, Visheshta, Vibhinnata, and this is, I think, the third chapter of Mokshmala. Third or fourth, Raju must be fourth, third or fourth. Karmana Chamatkar. Third, ne? Huh. Third, I think fourth, Manav Janam Chene. Okay, third or fourth chapter of Mokshmala, Karmana Chamatkar. So the whole chapter, Param Kripaludev just explains the diversities and then questions why this. કેમ આનું થોબડું આવું હોવું જોઈએ, કેમ આનું થોબડું આવવું જોઈએ, આનું ફેસ કેમ આવવું જોઈએ, આનું આ કેમ હોવું જોઈએ, આ કેમ આફ્રિકામાં બોર્ન થવો જોઈએ ને આ કેમ અમેરિકામાં બોર્ન થવો જોઈએ ને આ કેમ ધરમપુરમાં બોર્ન થવું જોઈએ. વાય ઓલ ધીસ? વોટ ઇઝ ધ રીઝન? બોય ગર્લ માટે તમે ક્રોમોઝોમ્સનું આખું સાયન્સ મને સમજાવો. એક્સ એન્ડ વાય એન્ડ ઝેડ છે, એક્સ વાય છે, સો એક્સ એન્ડ વાય. તો પણ વાય એક્સ એન્ડ વાય? એક છોકરી થઈ ગઈ તો બીજી છોકરો આવવો જોઈએ ને. શિબાની ક્યાં છે? શિબો હોવો જોઈએ તો ભાઈ શિબાની. So you are saying કે બસ આ એક્સ વાય, but you are not giving a proper reason why. A specific reason કે આ કેમ એક્સ એક્સનું થયું ને વાય વાયનું થયું ને એવું કેમ? આને આ જોઈતું હતું તો એ કેમ નહીં ને આને આ જોઈતું હતું તો આ કેમ નહીં? વોટ ઇઝ ધ રીઝન? તને શું જોઈએ? બે ગર્લ્સ જોઈએ, બોલો. આને એના વરને બે છોકરા જોઈએ છે. If there was anything like God, no, he would go mad. Now we can't infuse another two also inside, right? બે આ ને બે આ. Human desires, and I think મેં એકવાર આખું ગોડનું કંઈ સમજાવ્યું હતું પણ હવે હમણાં છોડી દો. Man minus desire is God. God plus desire is equal to man. બહુ નાનપણમાં સમજાયું. આખું ઇક્વેશન બનાવીને બ્લેકબોર્ડ તે વખતે તો રાખતો હતો. સો ગોડ માઇનસ ડિઝાયર, મેન માઇનસ ડિઝાયર ઇઝ ઇક્વલ ટુ ગોડ, એન્ડ ગોડ પ્લસ ડિઝાયર ઇઝ ઇક્વલ ટુ મેન. તમે નક્કી કરો તમે કોણ છો, તમે નક્કી કરો હું કોણ છું. બસ આટલું જ છે, સિમ્પલ. ભલે ને કોકનો જન્મ કલ્યાણ મેરુ પર્વત પર ન ઉજાયો હોય, પણ ઇફ ઇટ્સ અ મેન minus desire, so it is God. Because અમુક ગ્રંથોમાં તો બહુ વર્ષો પહેલાં, 30 વર્ષ પહેલાં એ ગ્રંથમાં મેં વાંચ્યું કે કોઈ વાર એ જ ભવમાં તીર્થંકર નામ કર્મ બંધાય. હા, this maybe you all know, you won't understand, but at least something for them. એ જ ભવમાં તીર્થંકર નામ કર્મ બંધાય અને એ જ ભવમાં ઉદયમાં આવે. એવા બી એક્ઝામ્પલ્સ છે. કેન યુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ? આપણે શું સામાન્ય શીખ્યા, 3 ભવ પહેલાં નિકાચિત થાય. હા, પેલું 20 સ્થાનકની ઓલીમાંથી કોઈ બી એક સ્થાનકની ઉપાસના કરી હોય ને તીર્થંકર નામકર્મ બંધાય ને પછી એક નેક્સ્ટ ભવ ઇટ્સ ઈધર દેવ ઓર નરક, એન્ડ ધેન વેર એવર, કાં તો નીચેથી ઉપર આવશે કાં તો ઉપરથી નીચે આવશે. ઉપરથી નીચે આવે તો એને ચ્યવન કહેવાય, એટલે ચ્યવન કલ્યાણક. નીચેથી આવ્યા હોય તો એના માટે જુદું નામ છે, પણ હવે એ એટલા રેર હોય છે કે આપણે ચ્યવન કલ્યાણક તરીકે જ ઉજવીએ છીએ. કારણ કે લગભગ તીર્થંકરનો આગલો ભાવ કોઈ દેવલોક જ હોય. બી આ ભગવાન મહાવીરનો કયા દેવલોકમાંથી? કેટલામો નંબર? 10th, 10મા દેવલોકમાંથી એ આવ્યા અને ક્ષત્રિય કુંડ આગળ. તો મેં કીધું મેં આ બરાબર વાંચ્યું છે કે નહીં? શાસ્ત્ર હતું અને એમાં પછી મને વિકલ્પ આવ્યો કે સમજો એટ એજ 27 તીર્થંકર નામ કર્મ બંધાય અને તરત જ ઉદયમાં આવી ગયું, એટલે કેવલનાન, અને કેવલનાન પછી જ ઉદયમાં આવે તો બધું આનું ક્યાં મેરુ પર્વતની આખી સેરેમની થઈ? તો કે આવા કેસમાં ખાલી 3 કલ્યાણક હોય. ચ્યવન કલ્યાણક નહીં, જન્મ કલ્યાણક નહીં, દીક્ષા, કેવળ જ્ઞાન અથવા તો તપ કલ્યાણક અને મોક્ષ કલ્યાણક થાય. કેવા કેવા એક્સેપ્શન્સથી ભરેલા છે. એટલે સદગુરુ પરનો વિશ્વાસ કેટલો દ્રઢ જોઈશે. કારણ કે ગમે તે સિદ્ધાંત શીખાવ્યો હોય એના પણ અપવાદો હોય, અને ક્યાંક આપના આગ્રહમાં જો ચાલ્યું ગયું તો બીજા કોઈ સત્પુરુષના દર્શન તમને થશે જ નહીં. એ હશે સત્પુરુષ પણ તમને દર્શન ન થાય. કાં તો પરિગ્રહ ને કાં તો આગ્રહ. પરિગ્રહ તો બહુ ઓછો પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, આગ્રહ એ મોટામાં મોટો પ્રોબ્લેમ. Because agra is also parigrah of thoughts, opinions. So this has nothing to do with third pada. Okay. So now he wants to know the cause of these diversities, differences in the world which he observes, which he does not have to believe, he is observing. Right? If it is karma, because all the Eastern philosophies and especially the Aryan philosophies, Bharatiya darshan at least, all talk about karma. So he's using that word, he does not know yet. Okay, if you say the karma is the reason, cause of these diversities, and once the karma is not there, then all the souls in the Siddha lok all are same. Because soul, the inherent nature is same. It is the karmas which was making the difference, and now there are no karmas. So if the reason is, cause is karma, so now he wants to know, how does karma arise? Who is the doer of these karmas? Who is the creator of the karma? I am going towards the first verse. He wants to know if this observed diversities, means the diversities which is observed by him, the reason for that is karma. So it's a very big thing we need to understand, a deep subject in itself. Because we now want to know who decides his karma. Again, is there a God who decides his karma? Chalo, 50% karma lei lo tu. Tame loko 70% lei lo. Tame loko 20% lei lo. There is some external agency who is creating the karmas? Who is the doer, the creator of karmas? How does karma arise? But he is not a Gaga disciple. He is not the 2GG. This also you can. To થઈ ગયું, existence and everlasting, and he's saying, what is the Shishya not? And you have to say ga, 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 ga. A sincere disciple will think of the answer before he questions. He's ready. He has already contemplated so much before asking a question. He will not say, oh, I didn't think about that. This is called Gaga, who asks and then thinks. Who thinks and then asks, is this disciple? Yeah. So already there are many, many alternatives or options in his mind. Who can be the doer of karma? Let us use the word doer from now. Henceforth, I'll use the word doer, but it can mean creator or everything, planner, JB bolo, one will use the word doer, because doer suits with the word karta. And that is the third fundamental truth of the soul, the doer. So who can be the doer of karma? If at all there is something like karma. Oh Guru, if you are going to say the reason of these diversities is karma, if you are going to say that, so my question will be, who is the doer of karmas? He already has 5 alternatives in his mind. 5 options to ena manma chhe. And yet he does not know what the Guru is going to tell him. But 5. So he's saying, can it be karmas only create karmas? So who is the doer of the new karmas? Karma only. Can that be one option? Or you can say कि karma just comes and bangs and binds. Virus नहीं चाहिए. I didn't say virus, Shardi, आओ. Did I say that? So am I the doer of Shardi? Shardi just came and banged. With something happening automatically without any reason. જે તમે લોકો સાયન્સ વાળા કહેશો કે વાય એક્સ એન્ડ વાય બસ એમ ફર્સ્ટમાં એક્સ હતું સેકન્ડમાં વાય હતું ફર્ટિલાઇઝેશન પ્રોસેસમાં બટ વાય ફર્સ્ટમાં આ નહીં ને સેકન્ડમાં આમ વાય એવરી સંભોગમાં એક સંતાન કેમ ઉત્પન્ન નથી થતું ક્યારેક જ કેમ ફર્ટિલાઇઝ થાય છે So many reasons. Some will be answered properly, but why the first kid of Piyush Varsha was a girl? Why? And why not a boy? Means I'm not saying that boys hovu જોઈએ એવી રીતે, but why a girl and why not a boy? So how would you answer that? How would just happen. So that is his second alternative. Just for no reason, no specific reason. Automatically thaya and emat thaya. Accidentally. So first he said either the karmas only bind karmas, so the old karmas bind the new karmas, or second option he's giving maybe for no specific reason things happen in the world. How much it makes us joyful and sorrowful is another thing. But things just happen without any reason. Third is saying it can be the nature of the soul. Like to exist is the nature of the soul. In the same way, to acquire karmas or do karmas is the nature of the soul. And nature you can never separate from the substance. You cannot say कि substance rakho, but leave the soul here, but take away all the knowingness and put it there. You can't. Nature of the substance is the substance rather. So you can't separate that. So if it's the nature of the, then why are we sitting here? Because to do karmas is the nature of the soul which will never stop. Means there's nothing like liberation. Why are we here then? Why are we here? Because it's the nature of the soul. તો એને જ છે ને તર્ક જાગે છે અને એને જે સાચા બી નથી લાગતા. But like he's caught in the whirlpool of now. More he thinks, more he feels he is in a strong current or say in a whirlpool only. He will need someone to guide. When you don't think, you feel you are very confident. You show that you are so confident. But when you think a lot, you are lost. That's exactly what's happening to the Shishya. So first is that karmas only do the past, that's the next present. The present will be doing the future. Second, nothing for no reason, automatically, spontaneously, accidentally, whatever you want to use. Third, it may be the nature of the soul, so it can never stop. Because the moment it stops, the nature of the soul is destroyed, meaning there is no, the soul has only destroyed. So to pachu second padma problem thai jay, એટલે you have to move ahead now. Now you don't create such doubts where you have to go back to the second pad. Huh? So based on it. For maybe prakriti or matter, all this will be discussing. I'm just giving you ekdam outline, so you'll understand why we are studying what we are studying. So it can be prakriti, and I'll tell you what it means. But to understand, matter only does all this. Or fifth option is God. God is the inspirer, or he is the instigator, or he is the prompter, or he is the planner, who sits in heaven and decides Mansi should marry this, Hemal should marry Rushabh. આ બધું બેઠો બેઠો એ જ કરે. આત્મા જેવું એને કંઈ મજા જ નથી. He has to just go on planning કોને કોની સાથે એ થશે, એના છોકરાનું શું થશે, એ બધું એને પ્લાનિંગ કરવાનું. And we like puppets just have to execute. So this is also not making sense. But this can be one of the alternative or option. So with these 5 options, he's lost. He's caught in the whirlpool of doubts. And you must create this whirlpool of doubts, because that is the time you get the feeling of Sharanagati, turning towards the Guru. Only a thinking person can turn towards surrendership, not an idiot. And that's why Prabhu has written, Gana Gana Prakarti Manan Karta Amaro e Drad Nischay che ke Bhakti e Sarvopari Prat. So Ganu Manan means contemplation. Ganu after study and reflection and lot of pondering and contemplation, I firmly resolve that Bhakti is the best mark. And what is Bhakti? Don't think. Just surrender. So whenever we'll take Basso Ekno Patra, I'll explain in detail. But see, it's not because you don't have the capacity to think that you have surrendered. You, out of deep thinking, you have realized you need to surrender. When you feel the problem is not with the intellect, the problem is with my ego. When you realize this, you say, now what is the use of intellect if it's going to be combined with, associated with ego? So I must do something for the ego if I have to do something for my misery. And the best thing is to surrender. Very, very clear. So he turns towards the Guru, he presents his doubts and requests for solution. So just understanding the structure of this third pal, Param Kripadev so lovingly, so compassionately. Compassion is also a little technical word, so I'm using lovingly. So lovingly, compassionately, he has composed this verse, the subject being the doership of the soul. I don't want to bring in karma right now, so I'm just saying Atma karta che. Karta, doer. Sena karta che and all we'll study. So the subject being the doership of the soul, he has composed 8 verses. From 71 to 78. Till 70 it was Nityapad. So 71 to 78 is this section of 8 verses, 71 to 78. Out of these 8 verses, in 3 verses is the Shishya's, the disciples' doubts. He puts forth the arguments for his doubt or for what he believes or what he has concluded from his thinking. And that thinking is also his thinking is influenced by many philosophies. So we'll see how, especially the Vedic philosophies. And when it comes, I will explain. So there's a lot of influence of the Vedic philosophy in his doubts. Is going to, how many did I tell you? 5. So that means he'll be studying 5 doubts. In one verse, he has shown 3 doubts. And then in other 2 doubts. So 3 verses he has kept for the doubts of the Shishya, whose thinking has been influenced by other philosophies. Without naming those philosophies, just put as a query of the disciple. No names. So 8 verses, 3 regarding the doubts put forth by the disciple, and 5 answering each doubts, one by one. So 3 is from the disciple side and 5 from Guru. So 8 verses we'll be studying. In those 5 verses, the Guru, out of compassion and passion, the way he explains shows passion, and the why he is explaining is compassion. So passion and compassion, we see both. How beautifully he'll address one doubt and answer it. So he will show the incorrectness of the disciples' thinking, and how he has been sticking to partial truths, not false, truth only. but partial truth, and he concludes wrongly. And then he proves or establishes the third fundamental truth regarding the soul.